Ah, I really get into the mood when I hear that music. How you doing, Steven?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to everybody out there for our OSINT Curious live stream, the first of this week. Well, okay, so yesterday we had a live stream too with Nicole Beckwith, which was amazing. But this is our first week and first day of the week of live OSINT streaming that we will be doing. Welcome back to those people that have been with us in previous months or previous times. And for those of you that are just joining, we are two members of the OSINT Curious project. You can see our information scrolling down at the bottom of the screen, whether it's our website or our handle that we use on most of our sites, or the fact that you can reach out to us on our own Discord now. That's right. We have transitioned into owning the Searchlight Discord, and we are thrilled to be working with the amazing people like Zevin and the people like Xenotype and Tokyo and the many, many other people that have built an amazing Discord server. So we are thrilled on that. As always, please subscribe to our channels, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. We really appreciate that. And if you can, please consider sponsoring us by becoming a patron. Or if you don't want to become a patron, that's cool. Maybe talk to your managers about maybe your company sponsoring us as well. That said, let me introduce you to Stephen Harris, Nick's Intel. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well. I am melting in this very, very un-English heat wave. Yeah, but other than that, apart from melting, I'm really good.
That is terrific. That is terrific. I'm glad that you are sparing the electricity to get your computer up and running for us today. I know that every ounce of heat that is generated is unwelcome over there right now. Yeah. Cool. And let's see who is out there. Let's see if you are on our YouTube or on our Twitch or on our Twitter live streams right now, please say hello to us. This is interactive. We are looking forward to engaging with all of you. Let's see who we got out there. We got Diego, Danielle, Julia Byer. Hello, Julia. Nice seeing you. Griffin, of course. Reset Flag, nice having you. And Reset Flag, you were on. I noticed you were on the live stream yesterday with Nicole. Asked some really nice question. David, hello. John Marquis, welcome. And Lauren Marquez. Oh my gosh, our Geoguessr is going to be absolutely fabulous today. Hey, Susanna Marie, nice and welcome. And Pizzy Polo. Adi, hello. Okay. So here's what we're going to be doing today. And for those of you that are going to be with us all week, terrific. The way that we start these live streams is by getting into a little bit of a warm-up. Our warm-up is playing the amazing Geoguessr game that everybody's become fond of. Stephen, do you all play the Geoguessr game in your house, like you and your kids and your wife?
We do, actually. My kids love anything with a screen, but Geoguessr is awesome, and it's quite addictive too.
Yes. It has actually replaced some of our television watching. We throw it up on the big screen and we just play Country Streak or United States State Streak, and it's kind of nice as we yell at the screen for, no, that can't be Australia.
No way.
That's right. Okay, so here's the rules that we want you to follow for us. First off, if you have already competed in the Geoguessr Daily Challenge, please wait till after we solve each of the 5 rounds to let us know how you did it. We want to hear your different ways of doing it. I love to hear about the different ways of solving things, like, oh, if you just gone the other direction, there was a sign. But please wait. Don't help us out if you've already done these. Also, please no Googling, Binging, DuckDuckGoing, Yandexing for anything that you see in these. We want to just use our brains. And as always, we want you to tell us in the chat where you think we are. Stephen and I are really, really good. Hey, Cuddles, congrats on being our first time watcher. That's great. Tell us why you think it's a certain country. Like, we've had times in the past where people are like, oh, there's a Russian flag or there's a whatever. Let us know why. That way we can pay attention. John Marquis, some of the states are actually hard, but some are quite easy. Like, you know, the road signs are in the shape of the states and other things, kind of like what we see in the world. But glad everybody's on. I'm hoping everybody's ready to go. Steven, are you ready for the daily challenge?
Ready to roll. Let's do it.
Ready to roll. All right, let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so what we're going to do here, this is the daily challenge. Every day, the Geoguessr.com site releases 5 different locations. Our goal is to get as close to the actual location as possible without cheating. And so they're going to put us down in a certain place. We are going to have 3 minutes to guess where in the world that is. So please help us out as much as possible. Here we go. Daily challenge, and we begin. All right. So Steve,
was that a sign? Straight away.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Dumbravita, Grossi, Noi, Deva, Ila.
I think the town of Arad is in Romania, which is southeast Europe.
Okay, let's see. Let's just go over to the map. Road sign looks like Romania. We got that too. So let's see. Arad, right?
Arad. Whether it's big enough, I can't even remember why I know that. But
I'm not gonna ask. I'm just gonna go.
There it is.
There it is, right there.
Right. Okay.
Okay, but let's see where it is. It says it's how many kilometers away?
63.
Arad is 63.
Away.
So this
and
is
the other direction is.
So we are on Route 7 and 79, right? 63 kilometers away. So 7 and 69. Let's see. Here's A. Oh wait, we're 63. Here's 7 right there. So this is 7, and we are 63. So we should see on 7.
There's Deva.
Right
That's
there.
Goes in the opposite direction on the on the sign. So we're somewhere.
We should be like in here, maybe. So we're on 7, where it meets 79. 79 is a small road, so 91 kilometers one way. What do you think?
Dumbravita.
That's 708. We got this. Man, you really locked in on that, man. All right. So other ideas here? What are you thinking?
If we zoom out, maybe and scan along, we should pick up a.
There's 708 right here.
Look, there we are. There's Dumbravita.
Okay.
And there's Caprut.
So we're like right here?
I reckon that junction there is where we are.
Right there?
I think so.
I'm willing to try it, man.
Are we 5K from Dumbravita?
We're 5K from there. Let's just hang on. Let's just look around real quick. We didn't even turn around. All right. Hey, let's just try it and see what we got.
There aren't many roads to
16 meters. Holy cow. That is amazing, dude. All right, so Steven, tell us again how you knew that. That was awesome.
That was pretty good, but we were fortunate because we had a signpost straight away and we had a crossroads, so it's easier to locate yourself. And then we had the town of Arad, which I've heard of. I can't even remember, but I just remember that Arad is in Romania.
How did you hear about Arad? I mean, that's amazing.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things that's in there. But Arad is in Romania, and then we just use the other place names and the road numbers to home in on where we were.
That's absolutely amazing, man. I am so glad that you're with me here. Now, we can't score too high in the daily challenge and then ruin it for the rest of the week. So
we will.
All right, here we go, people. Here we go. I know, Cuddles. I got goosebumps too. That's amazing. Here we go. Next round. All right, now tell me.
Already hard. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a dirt road. There's power lines, so we're in a developed area. It looks like an orchard, maybe.
Yeah, like farmland.
All right, let's head down this way and see what we got. Let's see. We have. All right, we're gonna go down here to this place. I can't tell if we're driving.
Too, doesn't it?
I can't tell if we're driving the left side or right side. Let's see. What does this say?
Island
Tornillo and Island Guadalupe. Interesting. So island roads. What is that? Well, number 3. So we have English writing. We don't have like Spanish. Well, maybe that is Spanish. Let's see the license plate of the vehicle here. That's a Ford F-150, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Ford F-150.
Yeah.
We could be dealing with.
Could it be in the States?
America? What's on the here? Yeah, there's the times on the on the
Okay,
map. So we're in the. I think we're in the United States. That's weird because we haven't had the United States for a long time. All right.
so
I'm gonna just go down this road. Anybody have ideas? Let me know.
so it's flat
Yep.
and it's agriculture. I don't know the states well enough.
So I
Feels
think
like Texas.
okay. So somebody says Texas. I have from personal experience seen this in like Southern California, but not with trees like this. Oh wait, there's a sign up here. Let's see. Maybe it says "Welcome to Texas A&M" or something. All right, let's see. What do we got? Surrett Farms. Hang on one sec. So Pizzy says Texas too. Let me just go a little bit closer and see if we can see what that says. Island Guadalupe. Private driveway. All right, hang on one second. Let's just turn around here, focus on that sign again. No city or anything. I don't know if those are apple trees. I don't see any fruit on them right now. So we're thinking Texas, Island Guadalupe, private. I can't see
that looks like a place name on there beginning with T.
Yeah. Let me go back to the other side here and see if we can see that. We got 33 seconds. No trespassing.
So private drive. No trespassing. Okay.
Yeah. So. All right. So we have 27 seconds, people. I did say Guadalupe, but it's Island Guadalupe Road, Ashish. All right. I think we're going to have to go with just Texas or.
Yeah. Somewhere flat in the flat part of Texas.
All right. Let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
Not too bad. Not too bad. We were. Yep. It was right here at the border. Wow. It was right at the border of Mexico. So it was Texas. Well done to those people. Let's see. Diego said that. Diego, I think, was the first person to say, feels like Texas also. So, this person, not sure how to pronounce that, said feels like Texas too. Cool. And so the way that we located it, localized it to the United States was with the street signs, with the truck, and some of the other things. Okay. Hey, I'll take that. Let's go to the next round. Ooh, we have a courtyard. This feels Mediterranean, maybe?
Yeah,
or like in a fort.
North Africa or Middle East, somewhere like that.
We are in a fort or something. What is that? Oh, those are sandbags or something. I was like, okay. It looked like an elephant for a second. All right. Trash cans. Anybody recognize these trash cans? You know, we're in Trekker. So this is not a Google Earth car or anything like that. So we could be over in India. And this is really all we're getting. No way.
I'm going for like North Africa, Tunisia, Morocco.
Oh, you think North Africa?
Yeah, those archways look kind of, it's hard to describe. Like Middle East, maybe North Africa.
Okay. Are we back in the courtyard? All right, we got 2 more minutes. Anybody thinks it? Okay, so John Markey is saying North African, Mediterranean. Okay. Should be something on the walls. Yeah, should be. It looks pretty empty, though. Let's see if we can head out a different way. We are at a different place. This is like my worst fear. Yeah, I used to be terrible at those, like Castle Wolfenstein.
I was going to say, it reminds me of those terrible first shooters you used to get in the 90s.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to try to go through this arch, and sounds like Morocco. Oh, maybe Morocco.
Crenellations feel kind of Moroccan.
I got nothing here. I can't even get out of here. All right. African architecture. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stone.
Green over there.
Are those no? Crenellations feel kind of Moroccan. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, John.
I would go with Morocco. It's quite a large country, but a lot of it's desert. So
let's go with Morocco.
Somewhere along the coast of Morocco, I would guess. Northwest, up and left a little.
Thank you.
Keep going left.
Thank you. So like over here, maybe? Anywhere?
Yeah, somewhere in one of those green areas near the top.
All right.
Just be a guess.
Let's hedge our bets.
Let's hedge our bets. Yeah.
All right. You know what? There's the towns are over here too. So let's go like over this way. All right. Any dissenting? Kashmir. Oh, how do you say why do you say Kashmir? Oh my gosh, that is.
Oh my goodness! It was Kashmir. It was Kashmir.
Why did you say Kashmir? How did you say Kashmir? How did we get Kashmir from that? Wait, no, John Marquis now jumping into this. No, you can't do that. Oh yeah, of course, Kashmir. Yeah. No.
I also think it's Kashmir.
Yeah, I think it is too now. Let's go and take a look at that now. Let's see. Hang on.
It's
in your country. Oh, you have a lot of a delay then because gosh, all right, so hang on, help me out here. What country is Kashmir in?
So that's well, it's kind of between Pakistan and India. I think it's disputed as to who
so let's head on over to, let's see, Control Tab. We're gonna head on over to geotritontips.com. Yeah, local, right? All right, so here we're going to look at Asia. So this is geotips.net. For those of you that are regulars, you'll know that we try to use it as much as possible when we get to a place where we have no idea what's happening, just to learn better. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Pakistan. It's in India. Oh, okay. So India, or where did I click? Would I click India or Pakistan here? India. All right. So let's just see. I mean, we saw nothing. Okay, so I'm really interested to know how that person said Kashmir without maybe having done this before. Because, okay, so I mean, local.
We had no writing, did we? There no
we
sign.
had no writing.
We just
had
had
nothing except for some trash cans. We knew GeoTracker, and as you can see up here on the geotips.net, all of these purple places are where the trekker backpack or bicycle or something like that are used. So that's why I was thinking over here in like Pakistan, India, but I don't know. All right, so
it just shows us no substitute for local knowledge. And we've been doing this for like 10 hours and would never have got the cash.
Yeah, I mean, because there were no signs, there was no. Yeah, we that's right, John Marquis. The only thing that we had was the wall art, the trash can style and stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna just move on and pretend like that didn't happen. Okay.
So he's previously visited the fort. That's why.
Aha.
Well, 35 points.
Sure.
5,000.
Thank God we got that 5,000 before. All right, let's take a look at what we got now. Okay, so we are in a rocky climate, dirt road, rocky mountains, like tropical. It almost looks like we got a bollard there.
Yep.
I'm thinking we go down the hill. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go downhill and find.
All right, villages are down, so no signs so far. I am seeing like lushness here. We have no idea if we're driving on the right or left side of the road. Let's see. This is a stone bridge, single lane. I don't see any palm trees, but it definitely looks like a lush area. All right, so now we're going to look around a little bit. We got some animals over here. Some looks like cattle with horns. Okay.
And there's a sign on our left if we turn around.
Oh, there is. Okay. Hang on. And that is that there's a one lane road or bridge. Yeah, it could be water buffalo, John Marquis. Let's just see what we got here. Oh, collision. All right.
So
we see some planting of stuff up there. So this is definitely a habited area. Let's head up here. There's a house here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there's a house up there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking like Malaysia or something over there, but I'm also not seeing the lushness. We got pine trees almost. Yeah, we've got pine trees here, which I don't think you'd see in Malaysia, in that more tropical region, right?
Possibly like New Zealand or somewhere like that, maybe.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for that right or left side of the road here. Okay. Could be South America. Yeah, we have 56 seconds. Wow.
Argentina versus than Chile.
I think they looked at that 5,000 point score. The first thing they're like, yeah, we're not going to be doing
It's
this.
some algorithm which said nah.
All right, we're going to try New Zealand. Now, New Zealand has 2 islands, right? The top island is
I'd go for the southern one because it's the least developed of the 2.
So say that one more time.
The South Island is less developed than the North, and that looks quite remote. That's quite a weak rationale, but
all right. So like in here.
Yeah, let's do it, and we'll find
right.
something out in South America.
Chile. Okay, I wonder, is this Kashmir again? All right, and we were in South America. Wow. You look. It says you earned another point. That is like the most condescending thing Geoguessr can say. It's like, you were so wrong on that, man. Yeah.
But maybe there's a lesson for us there. Is if it's New Zealand, it's great. If it's not New Zealand, you are so far from anywhere else. It's like New Zealand or bust, isn't it?
Yeah. So I guess maybe we should just always not pick New Zealand and
let's never go for New Zealand or the Falkland Islands or anywhere else.
All right. So I'm very happy no one said Colombia. People said Chile and stuff, but yeah, there really was very little to go on there. I'm not even going to do the geo tips. I'm a little depressed here. All right. We have one more, right? Let's crush this one, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's crush this. Yeah, that's right, Danielle. There's definitely room for improvement for the rest of the week. Well said. All right, here we go. Last one. Let's crush this. Damn it. All right. So we are on a paved road. Looks like a single lane. Oh, there's a person and a sign. That person, let me just see what the... All right, we have a person that looks... they're wearing a jacket. So, and they're pushing somebody in a stroller. Let's head up here to this big old sign. Come on, give it to us.
That looks like the UK. Yeah, this must be the UK or somewhere English speaking.
Dara. And what is this?
It could be Ireland also, possibly.
Okay. So Ireland or...
No, that phone code 01624 is for a UK.
Okay.
Like that's a phone code format.
So UK. So let's see. I can't go up that way. All right, we're going down the road here. So we know the UK. We just don't know where in the UK. I think it just says slow down, emerging traffic. We got the yellow license plates, which
is UK.
Okay, so
Isle of Man is suggested.
Isle of Man. Let's just see what we got here.
AQ Construction.
We got a mobile device.
It's not an Isle of Man number plate, actually.
What's that?
It's called, yeah. And the terrain is right as well. So the Isle of Man is between the mainland UK and Ireland. It's a big hilly island, but they have their own license plates with the red.
Okay. Now, in the one that I've had before with Isle of Man, we went down this street and there was a person's house that had the Isle of Man red flag on it, and it was absolutely fabulous. It just had the 3 legs coming off of it. So let's just see what we got over here. Yeah, you know what? Ashish, I think it was Ashish. Yeah, I think that we have had this before. All right, I'm willing to pick Isle of Man.
Yeah, that's definitely an Isle of Man license plate.
Yeah. All right. So the question is where? So small town in the Isle of Man.
Yeah, there are many. It's only a tiny little place.
All right, let's go.
We go into the UK and in the sea between Ireland and the UK.
So I have no idea. We're on some big roads, but does anything stick out to you?
There's Glen Aldin. I thought I saw Aldin AU on one of the signs for the development.
Oh, so right up here?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe up here.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a guess, but it's quite a small place at least.
All right. At least we won't get 1 point. Hey, not too bad, people. Hey, nice. So Isle of Man. So we weren't able to even see that we were on the right or left side of the road when we were driving, but you did notice the area code or the country code, right? And
it's the phone number format and the license plate ties it down. Supposedly they have different license plates.
So you know what I'm really seeing here? I mean, this is just today, and I think on Thursday, it's just me on here, maybe. I think what I'm going to do is like recap like all the things that we've learned from playing GeoGuessr, because what I'm seeing next is that like your experience today helped with both and like two of the major hits. So having that familiarity, that experience, that prior knowledge was really helpful. So this is the Isle of Man. This is again that very distinctive flag that I was talking about. And let's head down here. So they've got some pretty good coverage. Oh, you can see the Google car sometimes. Yeah, Danielle, I agree. It is a bit of GeoGuessr experience, but it's also world experience, like your Romania thing here, Nix. So this kind of looks like what we were seeing. Isle of Man uses all white lines. Middle divider could be dashed. We didn't see any street signs. Electricity pole. Here's the license.
There it is.
Now that's something that we should look for next time, is the red on the side of the license plate, because we saw the yellow, but we didn't necessarily see the red. That would be a really good. Cool. And then we have the
01624 phone code. I didn't know that. But
there it is right there. 01624. Yep.
So that's the Isle of Man.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Isle of Man. Let's take a look at our score. Let's see how much room for improvement. All right. Did we get bronze? I think we got bronze. Hang on. Maybe we got bronze. Hang on. GeoGuessr. Hang on. Let's do this. There we go. All right. Daily challenge. We did get bronze. All right.
So we had two really good rounds, two not so good rounds. Extremes.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's not too bad. I'm not too upset about that. It, like everybody's been saying, it's room for improvement. And, you know, we learned about a new place today, Isle of Man. Not a new place, but we learned a little bit more about how to find Isle of Man. The Kashmir thing, that's going to haunt me in my dreams tonight. So, man, it's so frustrating. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first half of our show. That is our GeoGuessr warm up, and that puts us into a really good place for Nix to share his screen and help us out. Now, Stephen, you were talking before the show, and I think you tweeted out a couple of times. What are you going to be showing the folks here in the next half hour?
So we are going to do a walkthrough of two Quiztime challenges. And if you're not familiar with Quiztime, it's similar to GeoGuessr, but it's a test of your geolocation and verification skills. It's really useful for practicing. They're all sort of fictitious examples, I guess, but we're going to try and solve two of them that have been done in the past couple of weeks, and we'll find the answers, but it's more about learning the methodology. And you'll see some of them, like even when you have those indicators like number plates and things like that, that doesn't always help. So yeah, this is all about technique and methodology.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share your screen out here.
Okay, so
would you mind just making your font a little bit bigger, just like a Control Plus or something like that, a couple of times? There we go.
How about now? How about now?
Old eyes.
The opticians. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll introduce Quiztime if you haven't seen it before. If you just jump on Twitter and follow at Quiztime, every day, Monday to Friday, there is a new quiz there, which you usually test one or more sort of open source investigation skills and a strong emphasis on geolocation. So I'm going to walk through a couple. Some are easier than others. This was kind of a medium level one. And Mikey, you don't regularly do Quiztime, I think, do you? You're kind of a
I like to do a whole bunch of different things to just keep up to date. I just saw that Sin Windy over with the OSINT Dojo had started reposting the Monday motivations or motivational Mondays, which is similar to the Quiztime. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you're doing here.
Okay. So this quiz is a couple of weeks old, and it's a simple question that Yulia posted, and we have to guess whereabouts this photograph was taken. So I'm going to introduce a bit of methodology which I put together, which I blogged about previously on the OSINT Curious project blog, but we split solving the problem into three parts. First thing we do is extract all the information that we can from the photo. So we don't just jump into a reverse image search or just start randomly Googling. With all the information that we've extracted, then we research the information that we think is going to take us forward. And then when we will try and finally verify the actual location that we found. So let me make this image larger. All we'll do first is go through this photo and try and find, I always aim for about 20, to find 20 different bits of information. So if you...
So you're just extracting those things that you then can perform searches on, or that can help you locate this.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. So there is no, I don't think we use any really fancy tools to do this. It's just the discipline of planning, sort of saying what you see. But if you actually stop and force yourself to choose 20 items, for example, you will actually pick up details that you might not have missed, that you might not have got otherwise. So in the spirit of
writing this down in like notes or something like that, or you're keeping a list of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there's a training exercise which Julia's put together, where you have to look at photo and you have to pick 20 different bits of information from it before you can do. And I know the military use that too as a technique for helping people develop intelligence. Just give you a photo and say, right, tell me the 20 things that are happening in this photograph. So that's all we're going to do.
Okay.
So first of all, I'm not writing these down, so I might repeat myself. But we have vehicles driving on the right. First of all, we have this tall 3-4-story house on the right-hand side. We have a sign here, a pedestrian sign. We've got some traffic lights. We have these big green signs, and we have overhead these wires, which are electrical wires. But you'll see on the road there is no. They look like railway wires, but there is no railway or tram tracks. Those are going to be important, but we'll come back to them. There is a sign here. We can just see make out a street name. There are some solar panels here. There is this advertising sort of pillar on the left, which Yuli has edited out the advert to make it so it's not too easy. And then in the distance, there is a sign which looks like it says Chorona or Shorona. I can't make out the first 2 letters, but it looks like it says Sharona, so that might be something we'll follow up. And you can see there's another Sharona sign down here. I think is that 10 or 11 things right now.
I think that was 2. Keep going, man. Keep going. I'm learning so much. Yeah.
Okay. I'll see if you can zoom in. If you
can I throw out some things?
Say again. Sorry.
Can I throw out some things that I see?
Yeah. Please do.
Okay. So we're seeing all white road markings. We see a paved road. Look at the sidewalk. It's not just concrete. It's more tile or brick or something like that. The building is also made of more of a stone and less of of wood on the exterior. And then we have the makes and models of the vehicles too. This can be very distinctive as well.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. So this, I think, from the badge is
enhanced.
I would say it's a Ford. I want to say that's a Ford sign.
Yeah, maybe.
And the license plates
are white.
Which is EU. That looks like a Volkswagen or a Skoda. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff. So once we've got all those bits of information, normally I would write them down, but you don't want to see me writing for 10 minutes. Is deciding with all the information we extract what we actually want to research next. And some of the things in the photo are really, really useful for geolocation, some less so. So say, for example, we have solar panels here. Now, a really good geolocation tip is that solar panels always face towards the sun, obviously. So in the northern hemisphere, they face south and east, and it's the opposite in the southern hemisphere. So that tells us probably that south is over this way to the left, but that doesn't tell us where in the world this is yet. So maybe later on, when we want to zoom in a little bit, we can use that information, but that in itself won't tell us where we are. So there's 2 things. One is this street name here, which I can see it on my monitor. I don't know if you're watching this, if it's clear, but it says
zoom in on it a little bit more.
If you zoom in a little bit more, let's see.
Enhance.
Oh man, let's come back here. It says Georgstrasse, which is German for George Street. and Strasse being German for street,
Okay.
and Georg being German for George. Now, if you think, oh, cool, let's just go and fire up Google Maps and see if you can see Georgstrasse, George Street. It's a really, really, really common street name. Like, there are hundreds of streets in Germany by that name. So though it tells us that it's a German-speaking country, it doesn't actually tell us any particular town or city because there are just too many. You could go through them all one by one, but it would take you a very long time. So
Hey,
instead,
Steven, one question.
Yeah, go for it.
One question. I'm just working through your process. I'm thinking, okay, so I have 20 things that I see in this picture. Do you, like, based upon your experience and the things that you've done, do you order those based upon ones that are easier to find? You know, like Georgstrasse, that is something that is very common. But if you see something that's less common in the picture, do you prioritize that first, or do you work through a rigid kind of methodology?
Want to try and find something that is more distinctive, or combine things that are distinctive together. So, say for example, if your only search criteria was countries that drive on the right, you'd be there forever. Or if your only search criteria was stone 4-story buildings, you'd be there forever. But if you have something that is fairly specific, like a street name, and then combine it with the wires overhead, you can get to a more precise location more quickly. So okay. the more distinctive, the better. Okay. Stuff that's generic isn't helpful, or is less helpful. Right. So we've got the street name, which is Georgstrasse. But the next thing we have to think about is what these wires are overhead. Now, I had to look these up because we don't really have them in the UK. I don't know about the US and other parts of the world, but
are they pantograph wires?
Yeah, but they are not. But there's no rails. Like if there was a tram here, yeah, for a bus.
Yeah.
And in the UK we call them trolley buses. I don't know what they get called in the other parts of the world. So that is what I'm going to research next. We want to find.
Yeah. I was just going to say, so these give power to vehicles in cities that are like buses, that are street vehicles like that. Because you said that there's no rails here, so we wouldn't be looking for a streetcar. All right.
Yeah. Cool. So if we can find, we've got the street name. So if we can find a city or town in Germany that still has these overhead electric wires for its buses, then that will help us at least narrow down the town. And then if we can find the town, then we can find the street in the town, and then we'll check if we're right. So let's fire up Google and we'll search for trolley buses in Germany. And Wikipedia is going to help us. So Wikipedia is not always perfectly reliable, but for things like this about transport systems, it's usually fairly accurate.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Yep, I can.
Thank you. Perfect.
There
oh, wow.
Go.
You can go back.
I feel like, yeah.
There you go.
They go to the opticians. Okay. How about now? Okay. So this article goes through all the states of Germany one at a time, and it tells you which ones have trolley buses. The bad news is there are loads of cities. The good news is almost all of these cities have got rid of their trolley bus systems. So the first one here, Baden-Baden, they had it from 1949, but they got rid of it in 1971. So if a town has an entry in this 2 column, it means they've got rid of their trolley bus system. So there is this town here, Esslingen am Neckar, still has a trolley bus system. All these other ones don't, thankfully. And these are all parts of Berlin. And see, there's another city here that still seemingly has a trolley bus system called Eberswalde. And I seem to recall, see, all these have gone. So we know that because this trolley bus system is still active, all these other places got rid of theirs in the 60s and the 70s. We don't need to search those. Are there any more? I think there was one more. Solingen. So there's 3 cities in Germany that it could be. Just check there's no more. Yeah. So of all these cities in Germany, only 3 have a trolley bus system. So there's Solingen, and what was the other one? I've forgotten already. Eberswalde, Solingen, Eberswalde, and Esslingen. So it must be one of those 3 cities, and they all have their own Wikipedia article. So now that's using the trolleybus to find the cities, and then all we need to do is I can't type. I think we've established this on many previous webcasts that I cannot type.
Cannot type. Yep.
Cannot type. Before you go to Googlr.com, we're not going to Googlr.com.
I swear one of these days I'm going to register a domain, and then you're going to stumble upon it, and I will have you. All right. So just to recap, for those of you that are just joining us, this is all from a Quiztime post on Twitter, twitter.com/Quiztime. And what Steven's doing is he has an image that he needs to locate where this is. He's got Georgia Strasse? Georgstrasse. He's got the pantograph system. And now, what are you going to show us?
Okay, so we narrowed it down to 3 cities in Germany, and we already have a street name, which is Georgstrasse. So all that we're going to do now is point Google Maps at Germany and search for that street name, which is Georgstrasse, and then combine it with one of the town names that we know where the trolleybus is, and then see if there's a match. So the first one I think was Solingen. See, partial match is Georgstrasse Solingen. It doesn't appear that there's no match here for Georgstrasse in Solingen. So we'll try one of the other cities. Let's zoom back out again, because sometimes when you search on Google Maps, after your first search, your second search will only be within the area that you've got in your browser. So to avoid that mistake, we'll zoom out again. And the second city was Esslingen am Neckar. So again, we bring up all these matches for Esslingen am Neckar, but there's no Georgstrasse in any of these results. There's business names, shop names. You would expect if there was somewhere in this town called Georgstrasse, you would expect to see it, but we don't. So we only have one other city left to try that has a trolleybus.
I'm feeling good about this one.
Yeah. So this is just process of elimination, right?
Yeah.
Ta-da! There we go. So let's just zoom out a little bit. So this is the town of Eberswalde, and it's telling us this is where Georgstrasse is here. So we've done our research. If I recap before we go any further, we extract all those points where we got, I don't know, 15, 20 bits of information. We pick the ones that are the most specific and combine them together to come up with 3 possible locations. We've eliminated 2 of those because they have no Georgstrasse matching together with a trolleybus system. And the only city, as far as we can tell, in Germany that has a trolleybus system and has a street called Georgstrasse is Eberswalde. So that's our research part. And the last part is we are going to verify what we just found, or what we think we found.
One question for you, sir.
Go for it.
One of our viewers is asking, does it matter about using that special German character that, I don't know what it's called there, that looks like to make the Strasse, or can you just type into Google, Strasse with 2 S's? Does it matter?
That's a good question. So yeah, where they have 2 S's together, and it's called a scharfes S, and they have that sort of beta symbol. Google's smart enough to take into account like different dialects and accents. So if you search for something in French and you don't have the accents right, it will still find a match. So yeah, all I did, I searched for Georgstrasse with 2 S's because I don't have that character on my keyboard very easily. And Google has automatically corrected it. So to answer the question, no, you don't have to type in the exact German character, if that makes sense.
And so, one other thing,
go for it.
While you were talking about the pantographs and the Wikipedia, I Googled the name of that company and found that it was only in a couple of places. And while you were talking about and showing the Wikipedia, I ended up right in that same area where you are. So take it from here. How are you going to figure out exactly where we are?
Okay, so what you would be if you were not if in Germany, the best way to verify this is we want to be able to look at this photo and be able to recreate the view perfectly. So you might think, okay, we'll turn on Google Street View.
Yeah, man.
But we are in Germany, of course. So for various legal reasons, there is no Street View coverage in most of Germany. And there is no Street View coverage of the town of Eberswalde. So verifying this might be hard or harder. So we still need to find a street level location. And you can, for example, people post these panoramic photos, but in quite a small town like this that doesn't get many tourists, maybe it's I guess it's not a particularly interesting location, so no one has posted any panorama photos there. But so we need to consider other sources when we're verifying stuff. And I'll introduce you to another source you may not be familiar with, but it's a really good geolocation tool. It's called Mapillary. And it's very, very similar to Street View. Oh, just give me to the map. Give me to the maps. It's very similar to Street View, but the big difference is it's all crowdsourced. So instead of the Street View car driving around and gathering up images, these are images people have posted themselves. So I just need to find Eberswalde here, but we can search for the place name.
So do you find, while you're searching there, do you find that some of the quiz times are made to take advantage of the fact that people know that there is no Street View? So it's not just a matter of, oh, I click here, I search for that name, and now I can verify it. Now you actually have to go to a secondary or third source to do that verification.
Yes, some of them do. I mean, all the quizzes are set by different people, and they have different things that they like to test people on. Some of them are very, very hard. But you think in most parts of the world, Street View coverage is kind of limited. Some countries have great coverage, some it's very patchy, and it's good to be able to work when your favorite tool isn't available. Like, you still need to be able to do the job. Like, I'm always really impressed by people like John Marquis and Ben Strick, who do loads of geolocation work in third world countries where there isn't the same level of coverage in Street View.
And John Marquis on here today.
Yeah, and John Marquis is with us. Hi, John.
Yeah.
So if Google Street View, that's like the premium service, but you need to be able to still do your job if that's not available. So that's why knowing about these little tools like Mapillary are really, really useful. So this is Mapillary, and we're back in Eberswalde. And this is Geoguessr again. So all these little dots here represent a photo someone took in their car. Unlike the Street View photos, they are not 360-degree view. So you see that you can't really move around in the same way. I take you around to the other side of the road, but you can move forwards, and you can see, does this start to look a little bit familiar?
It does.
It does look familiar, doesn't it? So let me go forward a little bit more. We are almost maybe a few meters to the left of where Julia took the original photo from. So there is, let's just refresh your memories. We've got our 4-story house on the right. We've got the Chirona thing. We've got the advertising hoarding. We've got the solar panels. We've got the pantograph over the street. So we just compare now. This is the verification part, the last part. So we have the building on the right. Yeah, that's right. We've got these pantograph wires overhead. We've got the Chirona building. We've got the advertising platform. I guess, can we zoom in and see? That is the sign that should say Geoguessr, although you can't. We know that from the map that it's called Geoguessr, so we don't need to verify it. So that is how we found our location. So yeah, this image is, and it's pretty recent too. It's less than a year old. So yeah, that's pretty good.
That is really cool. Now, so Mapillary allows people to do their own crowdsourced street view, if you will, where they're recording things as they drive along or bike along or walk along a street. If you didn't have access to Mapillary, are there other sources that you could use to try to figure this out, geolocated imagery?
So with no Google Maps or Google Photos, with no Mapillary, I guess you can search on things like Instagram, for example, for geotagged photos.
Okay.
I'm trying to think where else you could go for them. Yeah, because most social media platforms allow you to upload images, and you can search by location to find images. It's less reliable. You can do a Google image search and tag location names, but the less coverage there is, the harder it is. So what I will say, when I did this the first time round, is when I was looking at trolley buses. I don't know what it is about trains and buses, and this is not a criticism of anyone's hobbies, but the train and bus enthusiast community like to document everything. So if you have been on a particular train journey, or if you really like buses, someone has quite possibly filmed that. They probably sat on the bus and filmed it. And I found, when I was looking at trolley bus videos, a lot of these places, people have been and filmed all the buses. They stand on the bus all day and film the way around. So that's kind of niche, but it does work. So yeah, there are other resources, but without Google Maps, without Google Earth, without Mapillary, it gets harder.
So can I show you something?
Go for it.
So one of the things that I found, let me just share my stuff.
Stop sharing now.
So some of you already know this, but it was very interesting when I saw it. With Google, many of its applications have isolated imagery and stuff. For instance, the Google photospheres that Stephen just showed you don't appear in Google Earth, but Google Earth has geolocated static images, those 2D images. So here I'm in Google Earth in my browser, just earth.google.com. And the nice thing about this is that you can swing this around. You can look. This is the building, I think, or near it. Well, oh no, it's over here. But there are static images here. Let me just zoom out. There are static images. Now, it may or may not be something that you need, but just recognize that if you go into Google Earth and you turn on the little photos thing, you'll get static images that can sometimes be very useful because it is geolocated to the same place that you were looking at in your Google Maps. So just another source.
Yeah, so there is stuff out there, and then when you search, say like you find that church building with a photo there, you can find the website for that church, see what photos people have on it, find their Facebook page where they take. You can pivot from there and try and find stuff sometimes.
Well done. So with Quiztime, it's sometimes and most of the time it's multiple steps. So one of the things I think that I take away from what you're showing is that Quiztime not only teaches you how to geolocate, but to have the patience, that determination, that perseverance to not just give up. There are ways of finding this. You just have to find them.
Yeah, and it's more realistic in that way, because most real life intelligence work isn't just tell me where that is. Like, you want to know more information: who, why, what, where, when. So yeah, it'll test that.
So if some of our audience, Stephen, was like stuck, they start on a Quiztime and they're like, I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know what the name is for those trolley buses. I don't know those are pantograph wires. What can they do for the Quiztime stuff?
Well, whilst the quiz is running, you can cooperate with other people, which is strongly encouraged because you'll learn stuff. If you don't know, then this sounds really trite, but try and figure out how to find it out, because whatever it is, if you didn't know that was called pantograph wires, for example, you could search for overhead street wires on road, no rails. You know, just describe what you see. Google's quite good. Other search engines are available. They're not as good.
Yeah. Well done, man.
I was going to walk through another. Yeah, John Marquis has hit the nail on the head. Knowing how to ask the questions, so you will never get anything handed straight to you on a plate. Yeah, reverse image search of the wires as well. That's another good point.
Yep, and really, I think one of the things that I took away from your keyword thing is don't necessarily start with that list of 20 keywords or the 20 things that you see, but you can translate those 20 keywords or 20 things that you've got into synonyms. Hey, I see overhead wires. I see wires, on the street or whatever. Translate some of that into different things and do the searches. And it sounds like Wikipedia is actually a pretty good place.
It's actually not bad for that. It's a strange exercise to do, but another technique to practice is you don't even have to talk out loud to yourself, but you kind of ask questions of the image. So, and use open questions like tell, explain, describe, and then you actually realize there's more information there. So describe the wires, you say, right, they go overhead, they go in pairs, there's 2 of them, they're on both sides of the street. And by asking those open questions about the information you see in front of you, you sort of force yourself to provide more information than might be obvious.
That's really cool. Hey, thanks for showing us your process. And I think maybe we are getting tight on time here today, but maybe you're going to be around later in the week?
Yeah, I said I would do 2 today, but we didn't have time.
Well, we do have time. I mean,
yeah.
If you have time, I got time.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to turn into a pumpkin on the hour, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that's the great thing about these live.
We can do what we want,
as long as we want.
We don't have a boss. We can do what we want.
That's
so
right.
let's do the second one.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So for while you're getting set up, I will just mention we are the OSINT Curious Project. If you're just joining in, I am Michael Hoffman. This is Stephen Harris, and right now we are showing you some ways to solve Geoguessr and geolocation challenges and Quiztime challenges that are tweeted out on the twitter.com. I'll go ahead and post this in here, twitter.com/Quiztime. In fact, let's just call it out. Julia Beyer, who is on here, or at least was on here at the beginning of the hour, she's one of the fabulous people that actually publishes some of these Quiztime adventures for us to test out our skills. So cool. All right, what you got now, man?
Okay, so let's get this image nice and large. In fact, no, we need to see the whole question first. So this is a different Quiztime quiz from last month. It's a little bit trickier, and it's posted by Yuri. Yuri, I don't know Yuri so well, but he travels all over the world. So you can't. So say for example, Yulia lives in Germany, so you could guess there's a high chance the photo is taken in Germany. Yuri travels everywhere. Like he's done, sometimes it's Africa, sometimes it's South America, sometimes it's Europe. You can't just guess where these are. But he does like the 2-step approach. So we have to know where this is, first of all. And the second question is who lies here. So bear that in mind. We're looking for something like a cemetery, a tomb, something like that at the end. But before we can find that, we need to figure out where it is. So I'll open up the image in new tab. Let me hide that. And we have this photo. So is that big enough for you to see? Woo, that's good. Find a compromise between.
Yeah, anytime you can make things bigger, that's cool. I can see there's letters on these EU license.
Okay, let's in fact, we'll stay there and then we'll zoom in.
Yeah,
so we'll do the same process as before, which is first of all we'll just extract the information, then we'll pick what we're going to research, and then we'll verify it. What we find with this one is some of the information we extract appears to be heads on, and think about probabilities, what's false. But we'll come to that. So we'll do the same again. In fact, I'll zoom out, we can zoom in. So if we try and extract, say, 20 bits of information in no particular order, we've got palm trees, we've got white buildings with flat roofs, we've got a tall building with balconies in the background. It looks like they possibly have satellite dishes on the top. Satellite dishes are always useful because they generally point towards the equator. We have this funny little wall design.
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
Because I'm told, I actually learned this from, I think it might have been a blog or a presentation that Sector did. But because geostationary satellites are obviously always in the same place.
Okay.
So to get good signals, satellites point towards the equator, which is over where the satellites sort of hover over, for want of a better word. So in the southern hemisphere, satellites point north. In the northern hemisphere, satellites generally point south. Nice. There are always exceptions, but that's as a general rule. So if you're doing a quiz like this and you come across a satellite dish, it's a useful rule of thumb for orientating yourself, I guess.
All right. Don't let me stop you. You're on a roll. All right.
Okay. So we have this. Ooh, I tell you what. Let's
the sky. Yes.
We have the sky, so we know it's on Earth. We have this sign here, which is kind of unusual. We have this long row of this long street with cars parked along it. We have these kind of nice ornamental trees on the left-hand side, and we'll zoom out for a slightly better view. We have this tall lamppost with these funny little like ladder things on the side. We have this huge tall structure which doesn't even fit in the top of the picture, so you guess it's either a really freakishly tall tree or possibly a mast, foam mast of some kind. There is this ornamental lamppost here. In the distance, we can see there's another row of parked cars, so possibly a road. We've got someone walking, so we know that there's a pavement there. In the foreground, we have this big paving area, but we have a car park. And then we can just focus on what we see in the car park. So from left to right, we have this old silver 4x4 with a license plate. We'll come back to that, but we'll make a note of the license plate. We have another silver 4x4 with a UK license plate. The reason we know it's a UK license plate, apart from the colour, it's yellow on the back, is we have this GB sticker, which stands for Great Britain.
Great Britain right there.
Yeah. So we've got a British 4x4. We have a small Renault, I think. Can't see the reg plate. We have this small white van, again with a number plate. It looks like 4 or 5 digits, then a symbol, and then a number 6. We've got 3 people, maybe 4 people, 3 people in their hats. So they're sun hats, so it's telling you, or probably confirming this is a very hot place. We've got the aircon unit on the wall in the distance, which I would kill for right now. But that is also indicates it's somewhere that is regularly hot. We have, I think this is a Skoda Octavia. That's just based on my car knowledge, but you can't see the license plate, so we don't know where that's from. Then we have the BMW with a French license plate. So that's the letter F here on the left side. Then we've got the registration itself. And then a useful thing for French license plates is that France is divided up into lots of different departments, and each department has a number. So number 34 is in the south of France, so it's French, and it's from department number 34. Car next to it, the Audi, you see it's got a couple of parking stickers in the front, also from France, and this is from department number 31. And I think that, yeah, so we have unknown registration, British registration, other unknown registration, and 2 French registrations, albeit they're from different parts of France. So I don't know, I lost count of how many bits of data we got out of the photo there.
I think we got enough.
I think we got enough to work with. So what we want to do next, I mean, I can't see the chat at the moment, but is what people are suggesting in terms of where we go next. Which country, let's start big and then we'll work small, but which country do we think this could be? Or if we don't know which country it is, what do we do with the information? Because we said in the last quiz time that the more specific the information, the better, and that's true. But we have got license plates here from at least 3 different countries,
right.
So it's not so straightforward.
So for me, when I see something like this, I know that cars move, right? So
yeah.
I'm not looking so much there because that's going to give me the general region, but also in certain places, they're going to import cars and other things. So I look for the things that don't move, like the trees. Palm trees are only in a certain area of the world, right? And when you combine palm trees with EU license plates, with that style of the building, with the fact that they need an AC unit, that moves us more south towards, I would say, Mediterranean area.
Yeah, that's a really good rationale, because we can't be certain of the exact location, but we can use the climate, and as you say, cars move. Although cars can be very, very helpful and we rely on them a lot, they're movable objects. So when you get international number plates altogether, you need to find something else to try and narrow down the location. So somewhere hot, we can tell that from the palm trees and the architecture. It's somewhere that's got to be accessible from France. It's got to be accessible from the UK. And then we've got 2 unknown license plates. So I said it at the start, we sort of had to focus on probabilities and rule some countries in, rule some countries out, and then just work through what we think is going to be the most likely. So easy one, there's a UK car here. Do we think this is the UK?
With a palm tree? Well, but here's a question. I mean, could it be a UK colony or something like that? So, some place that is associated with the UK that maybe a UK person shipped their vehicle to.
Yeah, so that's possible. You could say it's not the mainland UK, but then on the right in the Mediterranean there is Gibraltar, which is a UK territory, which is really, really hot, and it looks similar to this. So whilst it's not the mainland UK, you could at least consider whether it's Gibraltar or not. And then for the French ones, I'm going to see. I didn't try this first time around, but if I fire up Google Maps again,
and a whole bunch of people that are shouting out like south of France, south of France.
South France. That's a good rationale. A, because the climate, it's pretty hot, and if we can search by.
People are saying Torquay.
34. Oh, it works. There we go. So I've searched that the French regions are called departments, which is English for department. So this is department 34. You can just hopefully just about see.
It's just along the Mediterranean right there, right?
So that's right along the Mediterranean. The other department was 31, which is not quite next door, but almost. Again, it's right in the south of France. So we've got a car from here, department 31. We've got a car from department 34. And we've got a ton of palm trees and a climate which probably suggests this part of the world. So it doesn't pinpoint the location, but at least we're not in South America, we're not in Asia, we're not in Northern Europe.
So one of the other things somebody pointed out, sorry, just can you go back to the picture? Lollybigger pointed out, if you look at the driving, the places where the steering wheels are on the Audi and the BMW, where are they, left or right?
Well, let's see. They are on their left. They're both left-hand drive cars.
Because France, right? So
yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Most countries that drive, in fact, as far as I'm aware, all countries that drive on the right have left-hand drive cars, and vice versa, I think. So we're happy these cars are originally from the south of France. This car is from the UK, albeit it's clearly not in mainland UK at the moment. It could be Gibraltar or somewhere. But we have got these other license plates, which are much harder. So maybe if we can get a bit more information from them, then we can narrow down the country a little bit more. So what we'll do, we will look on worldlicenseplates.com, which I'll open up in a minute, and we'll just look at these countries. So Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Spain, France. Well, we know what we know they're not French license plates, right? Because we already know that. We'll look at some of these North African and Spanish number plates to see if we get a match. So if you do these kind of quizzes quite regularly, then just bookmark world license plates. So we want, let's look at Spain first of all.
Why would you pick Spain? Because it's close to where those two departments were?
Yeah, because those are the number plates. They're not French, so I'll do like Spain, Portugal, Gibraltar, Morocco.
But wouldn't Spain be EU plates?
That's a good point, actually. Probably would. I presume so. Let's just double check, and then that'll save us some time. So you get the whole
historic, unless it was like old plates, but those look like pretty new vehicles.
Yeah, so they're new. So there's no EU symbol on there, so it's probably not Spain.
Okay.
Now Gibraltar, I don't even know if Gibraltar. Okay, so this is what a Gibraltarian license plate looks like. Again, it has the little EU symbol.
Okay.
And the yellow, it says front top, white at the top, and yellow at the back. These are both rear number plates and they're white, so we know it's not Gibraltar.
Yep.
So next country, we'll do Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go to North Africa.
Let's go to North Africa.
Because some people are calling out in the in the chat that the plates look like they have Arabic letters on it or numbers. And don't those look? That looks a little bit like it right
So
there.
these are Moroccan plates.
Yeah, that one with the 88496
This
kind of looks
one.
like the one on the far right.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see. Let me make them a little bit bigger. That you've got the numbers, which either look like 5 digits or 4 digits, then the little Arabic symbol, and then a number 1. So that is not a bad match. We'll keep that one open. And then
Can
the
you
other
show
one
us the
was,
car again? The
yeah,
vehicle that had that?
so this looks like 31918. Then that looks could be
I don't
divided.
think it looks like that. And look, go to the right, to the far right, the other truck. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That one right there. You see that? You
So
see
that's
that?
like
Numbers, a space, and then a number.
So something 6. In fact, do you know what we could look at Moroccan? Oh, come on. Wikipedia. Oh, Wikipedia is awesome. Look at that. Oh, in fact, let's go back. I searched for Moroccan license plate, and there's a Google Images there with a load of similar plates. So all you could ever want to know about Moroccan license plates. Since 2000, the sign begins with a maximum of 5 digits, followed by 2 vertical lines, which we kind of saw on. So we've got 5 digits, then 2 vertical lines. In between the lines, there's an Arabic character to distinguish between series. Finally, there is a 1 or 2 digit region code for the origin of the vehicle. So in this one, we've got like 5 digits, then the 2 lines, and then that looks like a number 7, I think.
Yeah.
And this one is slightly different, but that's number 6.
Yeah.
So we've got potentially 2 regions. Before we dip into them, we'll just so we don't go down the wrong rabbit hole, I'll just look at the Algerian and Tunisian number plates because we don't want to.
You want to rule them out too, right?
Yeah, we don't want to waste time on.
So many times people are like, "Aha, it has to be this," and they don't complete that and rule out some of those other things. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of it's called availability error, where the thing that's staring you in the face, the most obvious, you assume is the right answer, and you ignore the possibilities, and it's easy to go wrong. So we'll be confident that we're doing the right ones. So these are Algerian number plates, which don't resemble what we could see in the picture at all. And the last country in that kind of part of the world was Tunisia, which is here. Right, Tunisian. So Tunisian license plates are white text on a black back. Oh no, it's the older ones. These more recent ones, they're kind of similar, but they don't have the dividing lines that the other ones do. So you have to say, based on what we've seen here, like this one, it looks far more like these are going to be in Morocco. So of all the countries, it's not France, it's not Spain, not Tunisia, not Algeria, but Morocco and not Gibraltar. So Morocco is the strongest match there. So we'll have a little bit of a look at Morocco.
So we see 2 license plates that are Moroccan, but we also see 2 French. So what would tell you we need to go to Morocco versus the south of France on the Mediterranean? Is it that architecture of the building right there, the white one, or is it just your experience? Because for me, those 2, the Audi and the BMW, look more current and stuff, and I would think that maybe, well, I guess more expensive cars, people are more likely to bring them over to another country, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I said at the start that when you get conflicting information, you have to put some hypotheses together and see which is more probable.
Okay.
So we've got two Moroccan cars. We've discounted the UK one. It's 2 Moroccan cars, 2 French cars. But if you actually just look at the cars themselves, they're expensive. These are premium cars, so someone who's more likely to have travelled a long way rather than, say, I guess it looks like a Renault van or something like that. Not necessarily the sort of vehicle.
Like
you wouldn't.
That.
Yeah, you wouldn't go on a cross-continental journey in that unless you were really desperate. But there's another 4x4 there, albeit it's much older.
Okay.
And then look at the actual cars themselves. Like, look at the condition of the car. So if you look at the Audi, this is a really expensive premium car. It's absolutely filthy. So there's dust all over the bonnet. The windscreen is covered in dust. The headlights are covered in dust. The license plate is covered in flies. So you say it's more likely that car has travelled a long way. And then look again at the BMW. again, premium car. You see it's kind of got this orange dust all down the side. You see the white where the wipers have tried to clean some of the dust away. So these cars are absolutely filthy, the French cars, compared to this Moroccan car, which is kind of shiny and clean.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. Also because the wipers, you see the path where the wipers have gone, which means that they were dusty and have moved while they were dusty. So they went through something and they tried to clean it off. All right, some good cues there. All right, so take us home.
Yeah, so this is not certainty. This is just probability. We'll test it and see if it works. So we say that the French cars look like they've traveled a very long way in very dusty conditions. The Moroccan cars are, by comparison, much cleaner. So it's more likely the Moroccan cars are local and that the French ones have traveled a long way. So you say it's more likely this is French people who've come to Morocco than Moroccan people who have traveled to France.
Okay.
So we're going to focus on Morocco to get us over the line, and we'll test if we're right or not. So we had, if you remember, for the Moroccan registrations were they had these geographical regions. So we'll just quickly run those through and see how they work. So this looks like region number 7 on here. I think it's a 7.
It looks like it's 7.
Let's go for a 7. So number 7 is the region of Casablanca. Hey Mohammadi is an arrondissement of Eastern Casablanca. So let's search for.
Well, there's Casablanca.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's just. Oh, hang on. It was also completing for me there. Hey Mohammadi, Casablanca. Right. So it's in this part of Casablanca. That's actually quite a very particular area. Actually, really, really small. Yeah. So one is from there, and the other car is from region number 6. Is 6 next door to number 7? Let's have a look. Casablanca, Anfa. So that's just going to be another part of Casablanca, right? It's got to be.
Yep. And these are Paris has arrondissement, which are sections of the city. So that's what we're seeing here, right?
Okay. So these are both regions within Casablanca. So Casablanca would be a good place to look, but we still have to remember what we are actually looking for, and go back to the original question, which is who lies here. So I guessed from that we're probably looking for a famous tomb, a famous mausoleum, a famous cemetery where someone would lie. So what we can do, if you just clear out the search history on Google Maps. So if you want to search just within a particular area on Google Maps, you can just put the whole area you're interested in your viewfinder, and we'll search for tomb. Okay, so we've got the tomb of Yves Saint Laurent. That's in next door country. There's none that are too close to Casablanca. So let me try and zoom in this a little bit more. In fact, let's do a Boolean search. We'll search for tomb or mausoleum. Or, and this little pipe symbol means or, by the way. So if you're typing or, let's say, think of another word for tomb or mausoleum. Say cemetery. Wallace. Back in the northwest of England.
Back in England.
Which is, I don't know, not even where I am. That's kind of interesting. Let's go back to. In fact, you know what? Let's do it in a regular Google search. So search for Morocco, tomb or mausoleum. So the first match, what we'll do, there's several matches. We've got the mausoleum of Mohammed V. We've got the Saadian tombs, 5 historical mausoleums we should visit in Morocco. So, and there's Mohammed V again, Mohammed V, the Saadian tombs. So all we can do now is pick one of these, and we'll just work through and verify whether it's correct or not. So we'll start with the first one, which is the mausoleum of Mohammed V.
And would you focus in Casablanca, since you saw 2 of the vehicles are probably local to that area?
Come on. Don't break on me now, Google. Don't break on me. There we go. Oh, right. Okay. Right, there's the mausoleum of Muhammad. They were actually in the town of Rabat, which is kind
North
of, I guess, it's about 40 or 50 kilometers from Casablanca. So I said we'll try and figure this one out, and if it's not, we'll move to one of the ones closer in Casablanca, because I guess, and we've already established that cars move within their own country. They move a long way. Perhaps they move within there. Yeah. Let's see. So we want to use Street View again. But what we find, again, as in many places, there's no Street View coverage, but there are lots of these little panoramic photo spots. So all we'll do, these are user uploaded, they're not made by Google. So all we'll do is pick a couple.
Could you look at satellite view too? Because we're looking at the car park, and we've got that cell mast as well.
Now,
and we saw the white building, so putting some of that stuff together, like, yeah.
So yeah, we should be able to look, and it's quite a poor resolution satellite photo. I was hoping that as it buffered, it would polish up a bit, but it doesn't. I don't think we'd easily make out a cell site. So, oh, we did have a car park though, didn't we? So
yeah, we had the car park. You said the long street. We had the ornamental light fixture and that six-headed light fixture. So we had some things that we might be able to pick out from space.
Okay.
But
we have the only car park here is that one. So we'll start. There's 3 panorama things to choose from.
Photosphere,
that's one. Panorama, that's like, that finished like 10 years ago.
That is from the past.
Show my age.
Yeah.
So we can spin round. It doesn't immediately, obviously.
Wait, there's a fixture right there on the right, and the cell mast or something. Wait, right there. There's a big mast, right? Okay, there's a mast, and on the right there, there's there's one of the ornamental light fixtures right there in that break in the wall to the right.
Let me see because we can't move because it's just a photo. If I try one of these, that's in a slightly different position. Oh, much better quality photo.
Ah. Hey, that looks like it.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it? So we want to verify. Let's just switch back.
It is wait, is that a cell phone tower that looks like a palm tree?
I think that's, yeah, you see the tiny little area.
Yeah.
It's a cell tower done to look like a palm tree. So that explains the freakish.
They look so real, yeah.
So we've got that tall tree. I can't actually.
Yeah, there's the ornamental light fixtures right over there.
There's the light fixture. There is the white building with the aircon on the side. Obviously, the cars are different because cars move. And here we've got that Moroccan license plate format, which is much easier to see. We've got the street with the cars parked down it. We have got, you can't actually quite, that building we saw with the satellite dishes on top, you can't quite see it because we can't move. You can see all the other buildings here have their satellite dishes pointing the same way.
But is the color of the building the same in that street view image? Yeah, we see the whiteness there. We would see the brown of that building.
And they compare the foreground here. Yeah, it's pretty. So there was one other, just see if this one is any better. Oh, no, that's a horrible picture. Although it's slightly further. It's a bit of a lottery with user taking the photos. But we can actually see that background building a bit better now. So the original question, who lies here, is Muhammad V. That was just to recap, we found him via Google search, but there were others. So if we had not found that on the first attempt at verifying, we just have gone back and worked through the list of mausoleums and tombs in Morocco until we had either found it or eliminated them all. And the car registration, see, that was, we're a short drive from Casablanca, aren't we? I guess that's what, 30, 40 kilometers, so not too far. But yeah.
So let me ask you this, Nix. You just walked through that in about 20 minutes or so. It wasn't too bad. How long did it take you when you actually were working on that to solve it? Was it 30 minutes as well, or did it take longer to?
A bit long. I would say maybe about an hour, because the wall I hit was with the license plates, because normally think, oh, license plate, great, but they make it harder in this case because it could be France, could be UK, could be Morocco, could be a fourth country that all these place to travel to, but the detail picking out which cars were dirty and therefore probably come a long way, and which cars were clean and therefore more likely to be local, makes that one work. And then you're kind of given with the original question, who lies here? That's kind of a bit of a clue the sort of location it might be.
Right.
So if you hadn't given the cemetery mausoleum clue, it just said, where is this? You could be taking a while. But yeah, that kind of made it helpful.
That was terrific. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
So on both of those walkthroughs, we picked up a lot of different things from doing the 20 things I see in this image, and then looking for some of those things. Looking for what those are, ranking what they are according to things that are more likely to focus on a certain location and more likely to be having been moved there. Like those vehicles, while helpful to locate this where in the world this would be, they weren't really that helpful for the exact location. We had to use some of the other cues. Cool, man. And the world license plate site, that was really
worldlicenseplates.com is awesome.
Okay. Nice. Any other comments or questions about that stuff for our resident geolocator, Nix? That was pretty cool, man. Thanks for sharing how you walk through that. That's really useful. Will you be able to do some more of these for us? Not necessarily later in the week, but later on.
Sure. I've written many. If you want to learn, I've written many Quiztime write-ups on my blog in the past. But this is actually, in some ways, an easier format when you can do it with people who are asking questions as you go along. So yeah, let's do some more.
And your blog again
is nixintel.info.
Yep, I've pasted that in there. Cool, man. Thanks, Nix. Appreciate it.
Cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been with us for about an hour and a half, and we appreciate you being on here. Thank you so much for your insights, your questions, helping us with Geoguessr. We will get better at that in the rest of the week. I promise you, or your money back. And thanks to everybody here that helped support the OSINT Curious project by being a Patreon patron, and our sponsors as well. And we are out of time today. I'd like to thank my colleague here, Nix, for being on. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
And I hope you get some ice cream or something cool in you before.
Yeah, I need to go outside. I'm actually turning into a tomato.
Cool. And thank you to everybody that's listening to us and watching us. We really appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1800 hours. Bye, everybody.
Bye.